Hi guys, C Chronicles here, back again with another fragrance review video. If you're joining my channel for the very first time, please consider subscribing and becoming part of the family. We review fragrances a lot on this particular channel. Now, if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I have a few Lattafas, okay, that I want to give you my thoughts on. The first one being this Dalal. Just based off of the presentation, I'm going to say this was probably targeted for the girls and the women out there, just based off of presentation. But as you know, you wear what you want to wear. So this is a close-up of the bottle. So it's got this cap. This is not a heavy cap. This is plastic. A little bit tacky in terms of just how it feels to the hand. But if you put it on your dresser like that, it looks nice. But I don't know. I wish they had just ended or stopped right there. It would have been cuter. So that is the bottle for Dalal. And if you notice, when I took it out of the box, I had already a pre-sprayed blotter. I wore this on me the other day and this fragrance started doing things. Okay, when you smell it like this, just based off of the bottle, it smells like something that's going to be sweet and airy and of course floral. But there is something in this fragrance that really started to do a push and pull with me the whole day, and I wished I hadn't sprayed it, especially this part of my clothing. So the dry down of this is going to be very ylang forward. Okay, ylang, white florals, vanilla, that sort of thing. Is going to have a crispy top. You know, that apple is going to speak there right at the top together with a couple of sweet citruses. Okay, so that's going to be the opening. I was talking about the dry down because I had already played around with this in preparation for the video. So the dry down is the part that then takes that ylang direction. But the opening is definitely on the citrusy, sweet citrusy side. Okay, with a crispness about it, and it gives you this impression that it's going to be a soft, even airy, summery fragrance. But when it gets to that mid and the florals then make a statement, it was just becoming a little bit too much for me. This is not like a strong, heady fragrance, but there is the way the ylang mixes with the jasmine. The jasmine here pulls very soapy, okay? And jasmine as a flower can be green, it can be very intense, indolic, soapy, powdered. It depends on how it's blended. In this, it gives off this distinct soapy feel. If you do not mind a floral that gets, you know, into a soapy thingy there, musky, with a banana-like ylang, then you're going to love this, okay? And that's how it stays. That is the only thing I didn't like about this. I could have worn it, maybe, perhaps it was wrong timing for me, or perhaps I went too high, because I remember I sprayed even my neck points and stuff, and it was just a little bit too much for me. But yeah, this is Dalal. It smells, or it looks like it was, you know, meant for somebody who likes white florals, the girls out there. It doesn't give me anything in it that feels masculine. So this is really feminine and long lasting. The next one, guys, is going to be Eternal Vanille. And Eternal Vanille is a new release, or a 2026 release by the house of Lattafa. And we saw this one at Beauty World, so I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I have sprayed it. This is one that also needs time. Lattafa gave us something similar to this not so long ago in Eternal Oud. So this is a woody scent. Undoubtedly so. You are to expect some cedarwood, some akigala. You are to expect a woody tonka as well. It has that spiky woody tonka about it. A tonka that's piercing. You know, tonka, depending on how it's mixed, can be green, it can be grassy, and it can actually give like a piercing feel about it, bordering even on tobacco-y, okay? That's how this fragrance vibes. It's very much on the woody side, but without crossing over to Amir. The Amir Al Oud. If you look at, you know, how this one has had people talk about it online or on Fragrantica, then you might actually feel you don't need it, because if you already have a mare, you might feel maybe you don't need it. But I can certainly say this is not, to me, a fragrance that would have reminded me of that outright if I hadn't checked with what other people were saying. So this, I believe, is doing its own thing. However, it's very woody there. There is even a resinous feel about it. It's rich, and the hook line in this, or what pacifies everything, is that cacao feel about it. So there is going to be an unmistakable kind of chocolate accord, in this fragrance, and a sweetness of the vanilla. They have gone on to list the vanilla as vanilla caviar, I guess for sophistication. So yes, it does have that vanilla that is on the sweet side, okay? It's a little bit dark and a little bit toasty, but it's also sweet at the same time, okay? And it's a fragrance that's pretty enjoyable. It does not give me that quintessential Middle Eastern woody thing. So I quite like how the woodiness in this fragrance, in as much as it's woods on woods, does not then pull towards the way some of the woody fragrances are done in the Middle East, where then they become unwearable. This is an enjoyable fragrance with a sweetness to the woods, okay? And even the smoky accord in this is really like toned down, so it is something that is super wearable, okay? In terms of whether it's really groundbreaking, it's going to depend, but I can see the guys liking this one so much, especially that type of guy that was looking for something that's not going to be too harsh. This is going to be it. Not even getting close to by the fireplace, or that Amir Al Oud, I would say, is more intense. This one is on the softer side, with a spicy feel about it. I've seen some comparisons of this to La Luna by Gisa. Don't have that fragrance, so I cannot speak of that. Some comparisons again have been put there of this to Cadenza. I don't have that. So all I can say, guys, is what I've explained to you is exactly how I feel about this, and it does come with a decent lasting power. So that is what I can say, guys, about Eternal Vanille, okay, the new one from the house of Lattafa. And before we go any further, we still have Proud Mary Extractor for $99 for the month of Feb. This is a promo that started on the 1st of Feb, and we've decided to extend it until the end of February, courtesy of what some of you guys wanted. So you can still grab Proud Mary Extractor for $99 on our website, www.macedonperfumes.com. I'm going to link it here as well, so you can purchase it directly on this video, and you can still use my code C15 at checkout. Now, the last fragrance that I have for you guys is going to be Nebras Elixir. Nebras Elixir is a fragrance that I tried for you impromptu at Beauty World. I have it sprayed here, and for context, let me show you how the original Nebras looks like. So they gave us this Nebras, okay, by the house of Lattafa, and now we have the Elixir one that comes in this exact bottle, but it's a light colored bottle. And before I put the original Nebras away, I'm going to say the Nebras Elixir feels as though it should have been in this line, as in, a flanker. This Nebras, the original one, smells a lot like Billie Eilish, okay? So if you're looking for a chocolate berries in a bottle, this is for you. The twin, which I have on the other hand, Elixir, to me is a very nicely done gourmand with that whipped cream accord, creamy milky candy accord. This is so yummy. This to me actually kicks this one out of the window. And I have in the past told you how much I love this one, but for comparison's sake, this is a more beautifully done fragrance. It's not the same as this. This one doesn't even list chocolate, if I'm not mistaken. It's a creamy dessert, fragrance, musky feel about it, gourmand without being like too much, okay? Kind of feels even grown in a way, and I think the magic in this is actually the vanilla. They've gone on to use vanilla is not always sweet, okay? I don't think I've actually done a video breaking down the different vanillas. Vanilla is not always sweet, but in this, it is sweet. It kind of feels like a baking vanilla. And when I say vanilla is not always sweet, remember I showed you that Eternal Vanilla, and I said that was like a spiky, toasty vanilla. So vanilla can be smoky, toasty, burnt-like. It can be dark, to smell to the nose. This is certainly a yummy vanilla, something that you would whip up, okay, if you're making a dessert or a sweet cake, a vanilla cake. Beautifully done. I love this one. I actually love it more than I like this, so I'm definitely going to add this one in full size. Gorgeous fragrance. This one has been likened to Sud du Pacifique. I'm going to put it on the screen, and Sud de Pacifique is a brand that does gourmand fragrances. I've only ever brought you one here that smelled like biscuits and stuff. I never got to buy the one that this particular one is said to smell like, so I cannot tell you whether it is or not, but I have seen where it says it does smell like that Sud de Pacifique Vanille Extreme or something like that, and maybe it is true because the vanilla in here is yummy, it's sweet. If anything, I wish they had done this vanilla in the other Maison Alhambra that I reviewed the other day, or it's gonna come in a future video, I don't know. The vanilla something, vanilla sensual. I don't like how they did that vanilla there. I know it's Maison Alhambra, but it's still Lattafa. This, they nailed it. So of the three, I'm gonna say Nebras Elixir takes, you know, the trophy. I absolutely love this one, followed by Eternal Vanille. My least favorite is going to be that Dalal. I really don't care for it. And you know, I think I'm stuck with it because even Maima said, Maima actually is the one who got me into spraying this a lot. She sprayed it, I sprayed it, and when we compared notes, she was like, no, I didn't, yeah, it turned. So anyway, that's going to be the least favorite. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Remember to grab yourself a bottle of Proud, maybe for $99 on our website, and to use the code C15 at checkout. Turn on post notifications, guys, that way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.